I'm hoping to get to something back to like my old schedule next week or the week after, so hopefully videos and things will be back to normal. Then it's quite hard to make videos and edit them on a laptop with kittens everywhere, mewing and getting into everything and climbing over the keyboard and stuff. There's something that I think is less common in gaming than it used to be, and partly I think that's driven by the shift to online play, and that is the idea of the GM screen and the secrecy that goes on behind the GM screen, the hidden roles that you roll behind the screen so that nobody can really see what you've rolled, so that you can fudge dice rolls one way or the other, or you can keep the total hit points of the creature secret or whatever else. So you've got some way you can look at your notes. Now we've retained the note keeping, but rolling tends to be quite open, less secretive in online play. Certainly I usually run according to the honor system, but some people like to see the rolls. And I'm noticing that in the Tabletopless campaign, that things are much more on the whim of the dice. There's not a lot of room for me as the games master to fudge that, because the viewers like to see the dice rolls and they like to influence them. They like to see the sudden twists and turns and reverses of fortune and chance. But there can still be a veil of secrecy between the games master and the players, even under those circumstances, because you don't normally hold the monster or whatever else out in front of people. There's usually somewhat of a cipher. They might know its initiative or its various attacks and so on come up during play, but the actual raw statistics that it has, they don't necessarily have access to. So you can draw a veil over that. And in practical terms, this does make improvisation for games like D&D, which is not normally much of an improvisational game, a lot easier, because they can't see what you've got in front of you. You can easily grab something quickly, semi-randomly, out of the monster manual, swap a few traits about, if you can even be bothered to remember that much, and there you go, Bob's your uncle. You now have a new monster as far as they're concerned, but with the same sort of statistics and rough capabilities as something that's already there. I mean, you don't even have to give these things statistics, really, if you don't want to. You can pull a number of hit points out of your ass and an armor class, make up an attack or two, and shift and move as you go along. If something dies too quickly, you can just say, it didn't quite die. So this isn't a way to screw over your players. This is a way to adapt even in extremely rules-heavy systems. It's a way to improvise in rules-heavy systems, just by reskinning or not revealing or not even quantifying something until you absolutely have to. And by doing that, this is an alternative to fudging the dice to make monsters last longer or die more quickly, or to make up a new monster just by quickly grabbing something out of the monster manual and its standard array of stats and just shifting a couple of things around. It's quick, it's simple, and it works. So you might say, for example, just grab a gelatinous cube and reskin it to something more necromantic, just to pull an example out of my arse. Anyway, hopefully back to more normal videos next week. I will see you, or you'll see me, then.